Hey guys. Okay, I'm over in the math corner today for our application problem. I really like this application problem. I don't know why, I just do. I think it's really fun to do. So you don't need any materials, extra materials to do this today. Okay, so I'll talk you through it and then I'll show you ways to help you solve it and figure it out, and then you can do it on your own in Seesaw. So let me see. I'm going to do purple. Okay. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to read the problem without stopping. That way I can know, my brain just knows the whole bulk of the problem. Okay? Tom has 4 red cars and 3 green cars. Dave has 5 red cars and 2 green cars. Dave thinks he has more cars than Tom has. Is Dave right? Draw a picture to show how you know. Write a number bond to show each of the boys' sets of cars. So the thing that makes this application problem a little bit more difficult is because, again, there's multiple steps or multiple things you have to do. Okay, so let's first go through and find the most important information. We start with the word Tom, and that is a name. In this problem, it is important to know their names because we are going to be comparing their cars. So we do need to know whose is whose, okay? So I'm going to underline Tom. Tom. Tom has 4 red cars. That's also important, that word red, okay? And 3 green cars. So those are the 3 important things we need to know right now. Tom, he has 4 red cars and 3 green cars. Dave. Dave has 5 red cars. So I'm going to underline 5 red cars and 2 green cars. So the reason why this information is all important, because when you get to the question and what they're wanting us to do, they're wanting us to show a number bond for each of their information. So we kind of have to know who is who and how many red cars they have and how many green cars they have. So we're able to show our work over here, okay? So far we have Tom has 4 red cars and 3 green cars. Dave has 5 red cars and 2 green cars. But here is the problem. Dave thinks he has more cars than Tom. Listen to this. They want us to tell them, is Dave right? That is our question. So we ultimately are trying to figure out, is Dave right? Dave thinks he has the most cars, more than Tom. Is he right or is he wrong? Does he really have more or not? But our directions say, draw a picture to show how you know. Write a number bond to show each of the boys' sets of cars. Okay, so I'm going to underline our directions because actually they're telling us to do 2 things to figure this out. Draw a picture to show how you know. Write a number bond to show each of the boys' sets of cars. Okay, so we found all the important information. Now we're just going to have to put it into work so we can answer their question, because ultimately the question is, they want to know, is Dave right? Does he really have more cars or not? Okay, so let's come over to the answer page. I don't know what else to call it. Okay, so here we are. This is what your page is going to look like on Seesaw. So after you listen to the problem, it'll look like this, okay? And it's broken up into 4 squares. Tom, and here's his number bond, because remember they want us to use a number bond. Dave, and here's his number bond. And then down here we have the pictures. So just like before, we are going to start with the picture, okay? Because that picture is going to help us fill in the number bond. All right, let's start with Tom because he's the first. I'm going to use, let's see, what colors are we doing? Red and green. So you don't need different colored materials at home because you, when you do this in Seesaw, you can use the writing tool at the bottom and you can change the color that way, okay? So I have to refer back to my problem. Well, what's the first thing they said? Tom has 4 red cars. So I'm going to get my red marker and I'm going to use magic circles. Remember, I'm going to pretend that they're cars. I'm going to draw 4 of them. 4 red cars. 1, 2, 3, 4. These are my red cars, okay? Guess what I'm going to do? I'm going to write this amount of cars in this box of my, or in this circle of my number bond. So how many red cars does Tom have? 1, 2, 3, 4. He has 4. So I'm going to write a number 4. Because in order to solve this problem, I need to know how many he has altogether. So that's how this number bond is going to help me. So he has 4 red cars and 3 green cars. So I'm going to draw 3 green magic circles. 1, 2, 3. And I'm going to write the number 3. If you're at home, point to where I'm going to write the number 3. If you pointed here, you were right. Okay, so remember, I have part of a number, part of a number. I need to figure out the whole number, which means I need to figure out how many cars does he have altogether. So let's count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Tom has 7 cars altogether. Okay, do you see how I did that? Hopefully you're with me so far. Now I'm going to do Dave's side. So let's see, it says Dave has 5 red cars. So I'm going to get my red marker and I'm going to draw 5 magic circles. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And where am I going to write the number 5? Where on the number bond? Point. If you pointed here, you got it. 5, 5. Okay. And he has 2 green cars. So I'm going to draw 2 green magic circles. 1, 2. And where am I going to write the number 2? Point to where I'm going to write it on the number bond. If you pointed here, you got it. So now I need to figure out how many does Dave have altogether. So in order to do that, I'm going to count my circles. Here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So he has 7 altogether. Oh my goodness. So look at that. So we have Tom, who has 7, and Dave has 7. So what was the question they were wanting us to know? Dave thinks he has more cars than Tom. Is Dave right? So, no, he's not right. He does not have more cars than Tom because they have the same amount. So they have the same. I'm going to write the word same. Okay. So hopefully you're still with me and hopefully that this makes sense on how to do, on what to do. When you go into Seesaw, you're going to complete this activity on your own. Oh, thanks for watching.